we are indeed blessed here at Howard University and this chapel for the presence of some of the most dynamic leaders that this nation has produced. And there's one young man who is here with us every year and gives us an inspirational message, and he leaves something behind in terms of donations, my mind. And he trusted us with his most precious gift, his daughter. You can say amen to that. His wife, Deborah Haynes, recruits, one of our best recruiters for Howard University. Where is she? I'm going to ask her to stand. Where is she? One who needs no introduction, the Reverend Dr. Frederick D. Haynes III.
Thank you so much. Let me express my appreciation to Dean Richardson for just being who he is. He stands tall in the legacy of Dr. Howard Thurman, and our world is a better place, and our youth are in good hands because of the blessed, gifted ministry of Dean Richardson. And so we thank God for who he is and for what he means to each and every one of us. I also want to express my appreciation to the Mecca, Howard University. How appropriate that during this season where we commemorate the 50th anniversary, the Great March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom, that we have the sense to assemble here at Mecca, to make a pilgrimage, as it were, here to Mecca in order to, once again, reconnect with our great God and revive our sense of liberation and empowerment, especially on behalf of the least of these. And so thank you, Howard University, for being our Mecca. Thank you, Howard University, for opening your doors for us to come and share with you during these days. Now, to be honest, I am standing here in fear and trembling because this is a star-studded audience I am speaking before, and I'm wondering why I am up here. And then I am so honored to see again so many students. And so let me just briefly stick to my remarks as it relates to the role of the Black church. And again, I see the president of Howard University. Thank you so much for your leadership. Remarks have to do, we have a great preacher on the way, so I'm not going to preach, but I want to give you just a brief synopsis of the role of the Black church in our history as we gather during these days of reflection and recommitment as we think afresh of the March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom. The Bible says that we were born in sin and shapen in iniquity. Is it not true that America was born in the sin of slavery and shaped in the iniquity of racial and gender inequality? So with that being the case, is it not ironic that into this cauldron of contradictions was born the Black church? The Black church born into this cauldron of contradictions known as America. And how appropriate, because the Black church born into this nation where we were wrestling with hypocrisy that poisoned the democracy, or the notion of democracy. The Black church was born, as it were, to redeem the soul of America. To redeem the soul of America, because the soul of America had been tainted with the sin of slavery. It had been tainted with the iniquity of racial and gender inequality. There was a need for salvation to come to this nation, and God, in God's providential wisdom, saw fit to, in the midst of the crucible of slavery, say, I'm going to give birth to a prophetic protest movement known as the black church. And so when you think of the black church, never forget that the black church was born in the crucible of terrible slavery, the crucible of slavery. And there in slavery, the black church began its mission to redeem the soul of America. Now, parenthetically, I'm not here to romanticize the black church and act as if there have not been charlatans in the church. I'm not acting as if we have not been poisoned by pulpit pips who have bought into an alien theology that taunts and handcuffs the movement of our people. No, I'm not acting as if the black church has always been perfect, but I am speaking of the authentic church, the church that was born in slavery as an agent of prophetic protest against the most dehumanizing, brutal form of slavery in the history of humanity. If we remain true to that DNA, if we remain true to that ecclesial DNA, then truly we are the black church. And the black church, my brothers and sisters, has been that instrument, and please don't miss this, that has blessed us with a vision, a prophetic vision of liberation in the midst of the darkness of oppression. That's the role of the black church, to give a prophetic vision of liberation in the midst of the darkness of dehumanizing oppression. Yeah, it was in the black church during slavery that our ancestors somehow sang, and before I be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave and go home to my God and be free. In essence, they were saying we may be enslaved, but we're not a slave, because when you are a slave, that is internal. When you are enslaved, that is external. But when you are free on the inside, you know when the sun sets you free, you are free indeed. Imagine the audacity, the anointed audacity of black church saying in the hush harbors that we are free. Yes, shackles on our feet, but before I be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave, go home to my God and be free. I have chains on my hands, but not chains on my brains. Before I be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave and go home to my God and be free. And so the black church, in a real sense, in the darkness of oppression, dared to give a prophetic vision of protest, of liberation, and we refuse to surrender to slavery. That's the role of the black church, to always give a light, a vision of what can be in the midst of what is. I'll give it to you like this, since I'm in Howard. The black church ought to always give us an eschatological hope so we can handle our existential hell. I'm trying not to preach, but I'm close. I'm simply trying to say, my brothers and sisters, the role of the black church is offering us that vision of possibilities. And so, as we get caught up in the prophetic poetry of one drum major for justice who 50 years ago declared, I have a dream. Don't forget, he was within the prophetic tradition of a church that dared to dream against a nightmare of dehumanizing oppression. But not only that, the black church does that when we have persons in the pulpit, male and female. Say it, Frederick Haynes. We have persons in the pulpit who recognize our responsibility is not just to feed the sheep. We've got to fight the wolves. I just said something. You see, if we're not careful, we will limit our ministry to what just goes on Sunday when we feed the sheep. But when you sure enough know what a shepherd does, a shepherd doesn't just feed the sheep. A shepherd has to fight the wolves of injustice, the wolves of racism, the wolves of economic oppression. A shepherd must not only feed the sheep on Sunday, we've got to fight the wolves the rest of the week. And so, my brothers and sisters, with that being the case, I close with this, because if we are to be true to the role of the black church, we must now use that legacy to convert a senseless murder into a salvific movement. Our doing now? I say, I'm just a black man in America trying not to get murdered, blamed for my murder, while the murderer gets away with murder. And with that being the case, my brothers and sisters, we must recognize as a black church, we specialize, here it is, and I'm done, we specialize in converting senseless murders into salvific movements. Go back to August 28, 1955. That's another August 28. August 28, 1955, Mama Tio received the bloated and broken body of her son Emmett Tio. And when she received his body, the undertaker said, are we going to have a closed casket funeral? She said, oh no, we're going to open the casket so this nation can see what racism has done to it. That was a senseless murder. And out of that senseless murder, guess what? Rosa Parks, just a few months later, that same month, inspired by the courage of Mama Tio, took her seat and refused to give up her seat. And that began the 381-day Montgomery bus boycott, because a murder became a movement. I'm not even done, because in 1963, Run Medgar Evers was shot in his driveway in Jackson, Mississippi. When he was shot in his driveway, that was a terrible tragedy. But also 50 years ago, in a few Sundays, 4 little girls were in Sunday school in Birmingham, Alabama, and they were killed by a bomb, senseless murders. But because we kept on marching, in 1964, we got public accommodations and the Civil Rights Act, because a senseless murder became a salvific movement. There was a senseless murder that took place, my brothers and sisters. Just the other day, Trayvon Martin lost his life. If we are to be true to what the black church is about, we've got to rise up and convert that senseless murder into a salvific movement. Why? Because the black church knows we were born with the senseless murder. It was a senseless murder that took place one Friday on Calvary. I ain't here to preach, but he died on Friday. And when he died on Friday, he got up